I would probably take an average 1-2 grinder playing his A game over an average 25-50 grinder playing his C game any day.
You're listening to the Mindset Advantage podcast. Each week, you'll get to peek inside the greatest minds in the game and discover what makes them successful.
Mental toughness separates those that can't handle the stress.
If you're going to treat it like an amateur, you're probably going to have amateur results.
Now here's your host, Elliot Rowe.
Hey, Elliot Rowe here. I'm very excited to announce that for the next few episodes, Stephen Baker will be guest hosting the show. Stephen has experience both as a professional poker player, strategic coach, and now a member of my mindset performance coaching world. I can confidently say that Stephen's one of the world's leading experts in poker mindset and performance, and I'm really excited to hear the conversations he has with some fantastic guests. And with that, here's Stephen.
Welcome to the Mindset Advantage podcast. My name's Stephen Baker and I'm your host. And on today's podcast, I've got one of my clients, Vlastimil Pustina. Vlastimil is a high-stakes cash game player, and he's got an incredibly interesting story to tell about how he transformed his entire approach to mindset and performance. And in so doing so, he propelled himself from low stakes up to the highest stakes. So without further ado, let's get to it and listen to what Vlastimil has to say, which I'm sure will give you many insights as to what it takes to climb the stakes and become one of the best in the world. So Vlastimil, thank you for being here. Really good to see you again. I've told the viewers and the listeners a little bit about your background in the intro, but I'd love you to maybe sketch out a little bit more about yourself, what you do and your personal journey, because I think people are more aware of dedicated tournament players, but you are primarily a cash game player and you have other interests as well outside poker. So could you just maybe give us a little bit of a background?
Sorry, Stephen. Hello. As you said, I used to play mostly cash. Then I actually did like smaller hiatus, I would say like year and a half, when it was connected to born of my son and also just exploring new ideas, trying business and like teaching concentration and doing classes for companies. And still a little bit of poker, and then I realized I still love poker. It's a hard thing to leave. So playing mostly cash, a little bit of tournaments because it's fun and it's challenging and it's refreshing. And in current stage of games, when majority it's private, it's very refreshing for me to just be there, zone out or zone in. For refreshment, otherwise that it's mostly cash currently, a little bit of business and trying to offload everything, which is not necessary to do. I would say it was one of my big mistakes. I thought I'm invincible and designed everything for pretty much being single. And since new things arrived, it's like pretty bad expression, I would say, son and wife, life started to be slightly more complicated.
Yeah, for sure. So let's just rewind and take you right back to the early days of getting into poker. And I know a little bit about your background, having worked with you in the past, but I just want you to share with everybody who's listening about how you first got into the game and your first experiences.
I got to the game by mistake. So it was unplanned. I never aspired to be a poker player. I was planning to be a lawyer, so I was studying law, being bored as majority of law students because we had like school like twice a week. So we had parties 3 times a week, roughly, and we pretty much been drinking and doing something, playing games, playing card games, playing drinking games. And I guess it was like third year of my law studies. Somebody said, let's go play poker. I was like, sure. Like, I love games. So somebody introduced the poker, and it was like love on the first sight. I just we play some sit and go tournaments. I haven't known what is sit and go back then, but clearly I won as every beginner who had luck. We started playing more often. I used to play with my schoolmates because, especially at law faculty, everybody thinks they are the smartest one, and nobody are willing to admit they are dumb or dumber than others. They are still smart guys. So somebody started organizing something like Law League of Poker. So we're meeting as law students and playing poker. It was mostly tournaments, and then we playing cash. And I was somehow way better than others and start making money from my schoolmates. But beauty about law is nobody is really willing to admit that he's losing. Because poker is an intellectual game. It's not game of luck. Everybody it's outsmart others. It's very similar to law in some degree. So that was my start. And then I went to the local casino when a friend of mine who studied law, who play online, one floor above me at the dorms, took me to casinos. I lost everything which I got, which was in the span of 2 weeks, which was roughly 200 euros. Called my sis. She sent me money for accommodation because I was clearly broke and promised I never gonna do it again. And a few months later, I just went to casino again, just walking around tables, won some random tournament for $10, and walking around cash game tables. I was because clearly when I start playing, I just want to win. So it was still competition to me. So even if I was playing with schoolmates, I was studying, studying. Not in terms of solver era or anything, it's way, way back, but reading articles on Google. So I just put on Google how to play poker, biggest leagues in poker, what should I avoid, which was clearly enough.
Absolutely. I remember those days.
So just walking around tables, I was sitting old people, drunk people. I was this is unbelievable. Mistake, and just getting courage to get it. I was working in law office, so I was earning my money, and then finally sit on the tables and pretty much start winning and never look back. Plus, I promised my boss in law office, then I want to take break from it for a month because I found poker and it's my chance to earn money. I said hey, I'm going to play only a month and then I'm going to come back. It's whatever, dude. If it's your desire, I cannot block you from it. He was a pretty smart businessman. So it's whatever, follow your heart and be back and just give me a call. And I never called.
Yeah. Well, one great call you made right from the beginning was making that transition from law to poker really quickly. It took me 20 years to make that particular transition.
I dropped out at uni a year later on, being pretty lost. And I haven't even planning to play poker professionally. It was just, all right, passion, and I'm making money.
So that was how you got into it. Now, at some point, you shifted through the gears. And yes, we can get a bit lucky at the beginning. We can crush the low stakes. But at some point, you made many more changes of gears and moved into high stakes. And I just want you to talk a little bit about the challenges along the way, because it's very rarely the case that kind of progression is smooth. What were the big shifts that took you from playing at those levels and winning and up to the big levels? And what were the big challenges you had to face?
Oh, it's a very complicated question. I would say I'm a completely different person. I used to be a party boy, and I was pretty much earning money and spending money. I never had something heard about bankroll management. So managing money, managing expectations, treat it as a pro, not just some random hobby would be big one. Lifestyle, preparation, I would say pretty much everything. It's different sport.
Yeah. And you've just captured in a nutshell what it is to be a professional, a proper professional at the highest level. It is a complete lifestyle, right? You know, you can't just think I'm good technically, I'm going to show up and that's enough to win. And that probably never was true at the highest levels, but it's definitely not true now. Would you agree with that?
Oh, definitely. I would say it's everything changing, I would say, in the 5-year span. So
yeah,
what was enough 5 years, roughly like average rec now would be best player 5 years back, almost. I mean, probably not like top notch, because they were clear like super smart or sharp people. But these days, in unregulated pools, I would say, it definitely says that you have to be like really on point in many aspects of many things. Yeah.
So you made a radical shift. I mean, you actually said, you know, I'm a different person. Was there something in particular that made you realize that that was a change you needed to make, or did it, despite it being in some ways a revolutionary change, was it an evolution? I mean, I just want to get behind how you made that change. What prompted
there was
it?
multiple, I would say, like a breaking point. Once, it was one of my first like trip abroad when I traveled with guys, and it was like 3 a.m. after a session. We were drinking beer at the Cyprus. And like, I would say naturally we ended up in like high-end discussion, whatever which it was. And I was talking to, I would say, a friend of mine. I was like, how this is possible? I'm so better in like understanding concepts. How is it possible that I'm playing lower stakes, earning less money, and I don't know. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Like, I'm smarter than him. So it's like, where is the catch? And then I look at him, and he was super lean, super in shape, always on time, not risking, not like doing crazy things with bankrolls. Like, interesting. Because like, I knew it was like in like 2 hours, you knew when you're talking poker to somebody is, he's actually not smart. Like in terms of game, it's like, but he's so higher up in the ranks. So like, it's like, what am I missing? Because I was honestly struggling like 2 years from, I would say, leaving a loop of parties, and just, I was a young kid who was making too much money and never had the plans, goals, ambitions. It just happened. And nobody around me just aim higher. So it was kind of like complicated.
It is interesting what you say, because as you know, I work with professional poker players, but I work with people across a wide range of industries. I work with professional sports people as well. And it is interesting. You very much observe that phenomena you've just described in sport, where sometimes there is somebody who you can tell has got less technical talent, but they are so professional that they often manage to forge a very good career way beyond what you might have expected of their talent. And it is down to dealing with all of these things outside the immediate field of play. They look after all the details incredibly well. They look after themselves physically and mentally. And it's interesting that thinking is now accepted as part of the mainstream in poker.
Oh, yeah. And it's becoming trendy. Living healthy, taking care of your body, just, pretty much like all the aspect of the mindset coachings, mental things, preparation. It's now, if you say that maybe you not even drink, it's not like a curse. It used to be a curse. If you come to the pub and say, hey, I don't drink, it's like, wow, you're wrong.
Absolutely.
So, but I would say also, self-reflection, it's super important. So like, just even notice, like, yeah, sure, but it's not like, oh yeah, it's unfair. It was more like, oh, interesting, I can learn from it. So for me, like life is a game, and I just want to be better. So I took it like, all right, interesting. So what can I learn from him? I was always something like a sponge. So if somebody was around me, and I always used to observe and learn from people. So when I saw, oh, interesting, what is the difference in between us? So I saw like eating healthy, workout, haven't partied that much, or like almost none. Less ego. The ego is complicated because like attach ego or not attach ego, it's just next level. I would dig now into it. So pretty much just like, okay, I'll try to do what he's doing. And my results just skyrocket. Like if you're not having hangover or just having dopamine crash on the sessions and you're actually becoming consistent.
Yeah,
and there is like a
absolutely.
positive reinforcement. So you start doing it. You start winning. You feel happy. You feel better. Your body feels better. You're eating more cleaner. It's like positive snowball effect. And it's like, wow.
Yeah, exactly. It is like building other habits, and you build a habit and eventually it becomes your identity and you see the benefit and you want to do it more and the habit just becomes ingrained. I mean, I'm really interested on the mental side of what you said because you've actually touched on some of the other non-technical factors which elevated your game. You've talked about looking after yourself in terms of your nutrition and exercise. What specific steps have you taken to develop your mental approach to poker?
I would say there is like famous mathematical like proof, and it's like try and fail. It's called. So I was trying a bunch of things and failing and trying to like. So I would say just everything take as a learning experience. This is one thing. So this is very important for mindset because people living as a victim, this is unfair. This is also unfair, and something. So this is one thing, but I would say I always used to have it. My mom used to compete for athletics, so I was pretty much drilled from my early childhood. And I would say if I skip in the question slightly, I would say let somebody help you. That's a pretty big one. It's very easy to learn if somebody's going to show you a way. So if somebody tell you, hey, this is interesting, I try this one, and it's about relationship. If you believe to the person, let's say close friends, so you really accepting his opinions, because it's from psychology. So if you build a trust, you're going to understand the arguments in the different way. So you can start with whatever inner circle, then you can expand it for coaches, therapists. That would be the way if I can do it again. But back then I was pretty lucky and met a mentor who was amazing. It was like a different guy than I used to be. He prepared, take it as a pro compared to me just partying. So I just easily gravitate into him and did everything which he did, and just him every day with questions.
Yeah. So let's just talk about your preparation now. Let's say you're going to be playing a big, long cash game session. I say long, nothing crazy long, but just an average session, high stakes cash, or for that matter, a tournament. Could you just walk us through the kind of things you're doing to prepare yourself to make sure you're optimal for playing, for turning up and showing your best self?
I would actually divide it in probably 4 categories, which is going to be online, live, private, public, tournaments, cash. I would say everything needs a different preparation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would say generally we can add something which could be everywhere. So it has to be workout. I have strong ADD, and without working out, my mind just scattered and just jumping from one place to another. I'm unable to focus. And it's also scientifically proved that workout improving focus, decision making, and we can discussing how long is the span, if it's multiple hours, 3 hours, but it's definitely helping. Plus, it's hormone optimization, so this is must. And I developed multiple habits, but I'm pretty obsessed with it. I would say I fall in love into my body or my identity or whatever, how we're going to call it. So I'm doing multiple habits. It haven't used to be that way in the past, so I'm slowly adding. And they call it like a you with like dopamine spikes. So at start, it's like amazing. You love everything. Then you're becoming slightly tired. Then I had multiple burnouts. So I was doing less things and just hating doing things, going back to the habit. So I would say always be gentle to yourself, which is like very hard, and not whipping myself or just whatever, not performing. But let's see. Sorry, back to the habits. This is my ADD jumping from thing to thing. I'm drinking a glass of water in the morning. Very important for digestion, for like starting metabolism, for adenosine, for getting cortisol out of your body. Then going outside, taking my 1.5-year-old son and doing with him like just threw it to the air 10 times, catch it. So some form of small workout. Pretty much like 2 minutes, 3 minutes with him doing some bullshit squats, jumping with him. He just literally love it. But point is just being outside and just getting sunlight. You're getting it on the eyelid. It's starting circadian rhythm. So this is like a small workout. I would say like 3 minutes. Even monks in the monastery tend to, before they meditate, they doing some exercise for just getting blood flow. It's also very great for getting cortisol out of your body and just release like adenosine. And in some days, this is it. So just going outside, do 10 jumping jacks, something. So this is my lowest level of preparation. Then is some form of mindfulness, I would say. So either way, it's meditation, it's some form of stretching / yoga, but I'm so tight and my hips are so horrible. But still doing something when I can use my body is easier than just sit and meditate. So just some forms of body scan, and I can be very creative, or mindful walking pretty much some form of it. I would say this is the basics, and we can add depending how much energy do I have, what I want to do, what I'm trying to address. So it's mostly workout afterwards. We can play with it. I would say visualization is pretty cool if you have time. So I would just divide it in multiple categories. Like, how much time do you have? So is this early session, or I'm rushing to something? Can I do things when I'm playing? So let's say you're playing live tournament. So you can slide meditation in the break if you do it and you're rushing. So this is one thing. I would say I really love visualization when playing private. Just on private, you have to be completely different personality. You have to be chatty. It's going to be new challenges. You're not going to be focused. You cannot be good. You have to punt a little bit, but so it's so hard to connect it together. At least in my mind, it's very easy to be super focused and just perform. It's the same.
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, I'm loving everything I'm hearing here, and you know, well, you'll know. I mean, I teach a lot of this to my clients, and in fact, my own morning is very, very similar to this. I mean, I can't throw my son in the air anymore. Well, either of them, because they're in their 20s. That would be a bit more challenging, but and I think they might think it was a little odd. But yeah, I mean, I really like as well that sort of flexible approach, and it has to be like that in the real world. And you're right, you know, you go to a live tournament, you know, you adapt. You maybe don't do the same workout you do when you're at home playing online, and you've got a much more established routine. So I really like this approach. But again, hopefully everybody who's listening and watching will just get a sense of what, you know, proper professionalism looks like. But the thing is, it's fun. I like the way you've brought your son into the morning routine. You know, and it actually is just good. It's a bit of bonding. So this is how we should approach it, rather than being rigid and just saying, okay, well, Andrew Huberman said this, so I've got to apply exactly that routine. It's using the ideas and adapting them Does that resonate with you as a general approach, just building in that little bit of fluidity so that you can actually bring these routines in a way that works when you're not doing the same thing as you might be at home?
Yeah, I would definitely sign up under it. There is another layer, I would say. It's called the narrative story. So it's very good to create something which you're going to believe in. So either way, I'm a professional athlete. So because like if you're going to treat yourself as a professional athlete, you're going to do the steps. On the other hand, it's going to be you can just do something because your mind's going to find so many excuses in doing things. Or you could be high performer, you could be laid back guy, whatever you like in that aspect. But as I said, I tried multiple ways. I was very strict. So yeah, Hubert Daddy said, let's go outside for 30 minutes. So pretty much what ended up, I was facing decision, just go outside. I was like, 30 minutes walking, hour and a half gym, 60 minutes of meditation. I was like, yeah. So even when I was doing it, it was like tension inside. So it haven't hit the purpose, I would say, or the goals. So understanding yourself is going to be the key. It's going to be key in everything. But it's also very hard because you need to look inside. It could occasionally hurt, when you find something which, I don't know, you haven't addressed multiple years. In my case, it was emotions, and they're still there. I would also say one more thing, very important for poker. Just put enough time for rest. Because you actually taught me this. I have it like big sign on my wall, which rest is part of performance. And I always used to neglect. I wouldn't say consciously neglect it, but it's very easy to do things compared to not doing things. So then it's currently even scientific studies that they put people in empty room and just they let them do nothing. And after a few hours, they offer him getting electric shocks. And they can choose what they want to do. Yeah. And majority choose electric shocks. It's just something going to happen, So I kind of understand of not doing things is difficult, but understanding the story. I need to convince my brain because I'm very logical that not doing things is actually like long-term EV decision for me, or just I'm gaining benefits from not doing things. So this is very big shift compared to just go and doing things.
Absolutely. I mean, you're right. I mean, basically what we know from flow psychology is, the work done on flow psychology has identified 4 stages of the flow cycle. And the struggle, and I suppose for most poker players, that often looks like that study. Struggle is the study phase where you load the knowledge into your brain, and then there's release. And this is important, walking away from that study and letting your brain relax completely, going for a walk in nature, doing something light and physical actually has been shown to help integrate the knowledge. And then there's the flow phase, and then there's the recovery phase. And the recovery phase has got lots of elements to it, and one of them may just be mind wandering. Just allow your mind to wander. It's important that not every moment of your life is programmed as work, and actually doing other things which are good for recovery, like massage, sauna, sleep is always vital, other active recovery, yoga, things like this. All of these things actually help regenerate the neurochemicals like dopamine, like norepinephrine, which actually are present in a flow state. So and you're not alone, by the way, in needing to be told this. When I studied at the Flow Genome Project, I like pretty well everybody else had to be told, look, you need to recover more. You'd think the hardest bit of the flow cycle would be struggle, but actually I think for a lot of high performers, recovery is the thing they find hardest to accept. Is that your own experience?
Oh, it's not even close. Getting new knowledge, so much fun. Performing, amazing, because you get approval from outside. Flow state, you just lost track of time, so you don't even know that something's happening. but there you want to go again. So I would say I'm like a junkie. I just want to do things. It's very, very normal for ADD people. So just not doing or just resting, it's like crazy tough for me. So I could have like full schedule of activities, and I love it. So I would say like I can play volleyball, I can meet the friends, I can talk to people, I could do like workshop for companies, something, but there is still it's not the recovery phase, it's like active recovery. And I really these days having like I would say windows in my diary, like not doing things. Like being without electronic devices for a day to multiple days, depending how it goes. And as you mentioned, for me, it's also easier to relax out of the home. So I currently cannot rest at home with a wife and kid. I still love my wife and my kid, just saying, but it's impossible to rest. Either way, son wants something or wife wants something. And they always want something. And some things is like very hard to explain them. And because it's majority of decision making is subconscious. Kahneman saying roughly 95%. And so I'm doing what is the easiest for me. So it's like strictly stay to my regime. So one of them is just go to the massages. I'm going to sauna. So I have to go somewhere, and need to be forced to lay and not doing things. So in sauna, I have to sit hour and a half. Then massages, same. I love flotation tank, something which you really cannot run away. You're there, you go to the sarcophagus, whatever it's called, or like coffin, and you're there, and then actually like your mind just calming down. It's like, wow.
Yeah, no, this is fantastic, and it's music to my ears, because this is everything you're doing is what I would advocate. Let's just talk about the future. I mean, what does the future hold for you, your poker, life in general, and how do you plan to continue evolving, as you have done, your mental approach to the game?
Mm-hmm. If you asked me 2 years ago, I would tell you my direct 5-year plan with 2 years steps and what I should do. Currently, I'm actually taking like step back and want to have like slower year when I'm going to work on my inner self, doing multiple therapies, ADD training. So it's going to be, and I would say, actively activate fucking dumb. I just want to activate my knowledge, because I was like getting knowledge for so long, but I just not even want to do them. So now I want to do slightly less, but be very precise with it. And I'm currently working on my emotions. So I'm trying to write them down, just even like noting them. So like working with emotion is like, it's probably my goal for 25. I'll be playing poker and doing dopamine classes. So I love to coach, teach. I would say like sharing my passion. So my passion it's games and my body. So that's going to be probably what I'm going to do. And being a father. So that's more than enough compared to what I would guess. Or like and also trying to offload other activities. So I was recently selling my piece in a bar, or just sold it because, I realized that life is too short and you're going somewhere and just talking to people and just be around them. And I can very easily like absorb their energy. And I feel like it's not it. Compared to, I was on the meeting with super smart people told me, oh yeah, there is an ocean, you can do that. You're egoistic, you should just have. I was like, wow, oh, interesting. And a friend of mine said, oh, I'm doing MBCR, like it's mindfulness-based stress reduction. Training. Like, yeah, I'll do it as well. So I text them, I did MBCR, MBCL. And somehow I noted my inner critique. So I have so many mental models in my mind on which I haven't known last 35 years. So I'm revealing them my necessity to control everything, it has to be perfect, it has to be that way. Like even like my inner voice saying it has to, it has to, must, all this like phrases which like so deeply rooted like in my inner self. So yeah, that's gonna be the plan.
Okay, that sounds amazing. And it's amazing the work you've already done. And when we circle back to that story of how you were at the beginning, it's amazing the journey you've traveled, and the success has undoubtedly, been achieved through that consistent work you've done through the years. So what advice would you give to players who are just beginning to realize the importance of the mental game?
Oh, it's easy. Let the pro help you. So hire somebody, coach, Stephen, therapist, something because like you need to build the trust. So if you believe to the person who's teaching you, you can just easily absorb it. But honestly, find like two things. Just don't be alone. So find some group and just be with a group, and I would say rise together and let somebody help you. I would say like investment to yourself is by far the best investment which you can do. And it's astonishing how little people are investing into themselves. Because if you see, like, I see it as a business or enterprise, and even like enterprise investing just the 10% to the marketing. Like if you see the budget, how big companies are reinvesting in everything, it's very like closer to 20, 25, 30, depending on the company. And if you talk to the people and they say, hey, I earn, and you can choose number from whatever, like 50K until million, and ask them, how much you invest into yourself? And I was like, I don't know, I was on the vacation. Cool, next. So I would say like always invest into yourself, your education. It's by far the best investment.
Absolutely. Vlastimil, thank you so much for your time. It's been so valuable. It's great to see you. It's an exciting phase of your life you're going through, personally and professionally. Thank you so much, because I know you're busy. So thank you for sharing your time today. All right, it's a pleasure,
and thanks for your help in the past. Always good to work with Stephen.
So many thanks to Vlastimil for sharing his time and insights with us. It's fascinating how much he's changed and how that's impacted on his results. So many takeaways for everybody there if you want to really make progress in poker. I want to thank you again for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the Mindset Advantage podcast. Thank you again.
You've been listening to the Mindset Advantage podcast. To get future episodes delivered to you automatically, make sure to subscribe via iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcasting service. To get any resources mentioned in the episode or to listen to past shows, visit pokermindcoach.com/TMA podcast. Thanks for listening.